back to Drumbits, everybody. So, I have discussed hi-hat patterns, doing 16th notes, I think was the last one that I introduced, was 16th notes one-handed, 16th notes two-handed. We've done eighth notes, we've done quarter notes in previous lessons, we've done upbeats, all 5 main patterns that you can come up with, okay? And they're important because you're going to use them with any band you play with pretty much. So practicing those patterns is very, very important. So to review again, you have eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You got quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have upbeats, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You have 16th notes, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a one-handed or two-handed. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 5 hi-hat patterns, okay? With any groove that you want to play. Now, in the very first drum bit that I put out, I started with a very, very basic groove, and I showed you how to add notes. Then in the next lesson, I showed you how to move the notes. You can use that exercise in combination with these 5 hi-hat patterns, excuse me, and come up with some really interesting grooves, because now you're changing how you're playing the hi-hat, you're also changing your kicks and snares. It's pretty endless with the combinations you can come up with, okay? So here's an example. Let's say you want to play, you have 5 hi-hat patterns to choose from. Let's say you want to play two-handed 16th notes. So your hi-hat pattern is this: 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and, with a basic groove. Okay? Adding bass drum notes or snare drum notes, totally up to you. Let's add a bass drum note. Let's add 2 bass drum notes, in fact. Let's add a bass drum note to the end of 1 first. Okay, already different. Let's add a bass drum to the end of 3. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, automatically different. Snare drum. Let's go back to basic. Sorry. We're going to add a snare drum now. The snare drum is going to go on the end of 2. Okay. What about adding a snare drum to the, I don't know, the E of 4? Now this is a little tricky. The E of 4 is a 16th, and it's a left-handed note, so your left's going to come over to hit the snare drum. All right? So we already have this. If you add one to the E of 4, it sounds like this. If we add one to the E of 3, it would sound like this. Okay, so you can see all the different combinations you can come up with. You could also decide to just add one to the bass drum and one to the snare drum, but that's up to you. Experiment with it, see how you do, and I'll see you next time.